So, like many of you, I've spent a lot of time thinking over the last, what has it been now, 4 months? We have nothing better to do, right? And for July, I felt like I needed to sign up for a speech because unless I do, I won't do it. And in thinking of what do I want to talk about? There's so many things that's going on in the world. How can I talk about something that's relevant? And immediately I thought, there's so many things I learned over the last 4 years of raising my children that prepared me for this moment in time. And I'd like to share with you 4 of the main lessons that I've learned since 2016. So at the beginning of 2016, my husband and I were happily living as dinks. We were dual income, no kids. We were living in ignorance is bliss type of situation, not a care in the world. We can go anywhere we wanted. We can touch anything. We didn't have to clean up after anyone but ourselves. And then we had our son at the end of 2016. And boy, let me tell you, that changed everything. So the first lesson that I learned from having my son is I became educated. I received a lot of education in germs and how they spread. If you ever want a lesson, let me tell you, have a kid, put that kid in daycare, and you'll learn how quickly germs spread. So let me give you a quick lesson in case you don't have kids. Go to daycare, you see one kid sick with a boogery nose. One kid boogery nose, next day, your kid boogery nose. It happens that fast, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever preventative measures you may take, this is gonna happen. So what do you learn after experiencing this? You know that germs happen quickly. You gotta prepare. I learned to be prepared. So prior to this, makeup, hair, everything good. Now, I'm not ashamed to say I've owned it. I am the bag lady. Everywhere I go, I travel with a bag. Because let me tell you, all it takes is one blowout in the car seat and you'll learn your lesson for sure. And for those of you without children and don't know, you're wondering, what is a blowout? Yeah, I thought the same thing when people told me stories, right? Basically, you have a diaper, things explode, you got to clean it up because you're the adult in the situation. So I travel now with gloves. And guess what you need during COVID? Gloves. I already had a stockpile, let me tell you. Okay, next thing, wipes. You got to have the wipes. Another thing, your kid gets sick, you need the meds. Okay, this is for real. This is my bag I travel around with. Sanitation. And then all you have to do is be in a car with a kid that's cranky and hungry and you learn real fast. You gotta have the snacks on demand. You gotta have those crackers. You gotta have those pouches. So did I have a stockpile of food? You better bet I did. I was not rushing to that store. And then change a diaper? Oh yeah, mask galore. I am not joking with this. This is my husband's on-demand mask prior to COVID. We did it before it was cool. All right, next thing I learned. So that was lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, isolation. Okay, those first 2 weeks that when you bring a baby home, everything you read, you got to monitor the people that are coming through the house, especially if you have a baby in December when everyone's sick, right? So social distancing, that was us in 2016, baby, and 2019. And now everyone's doing it like it's a new thing. No, you have kids, you've been doing it. The last and most important lesson that I've learned through this journey is that any thoughts and plans that I had, vacation plans and life plans, out the window. Okay, it ain't happening. So when this whole COVID came down and any vacation plans I had, or like a birthday party, or like my mom's 60th birthday, done. Because when you have kids, you're already used to that, right? Like all it takes is one big ear infection or a kid coughing in the middle of the night with 104 temperature. Oh, by the way, back to preparedness. I had a thermometer. Like I said, I'm prepared. You just learn that things will come up. And so that leads me to lesson number 4. You gotta be creative and you have to adapt. So I gotta say that having my son Grant and my daughter Charlotte prepared me for COVID. I felt like I had the foundation to do what I needed to survive. I had the supplies, I had the experience and the knowledge, but most importantly, being creative and adapting, I think, are the most important skills right now. And so for my children, I am thankful that I went through all that growing pains, because these last 4 months was a breeze for me. And so I hope this encourages all of you to maybe have children, and then you'll be ready for the next pandemic. You just never know. And I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of babies coming out of this. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for following me on my journey and my lessons from having children and how it prepared me for the pandemic.